Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be a look through the 4Ks of Blazing Saddles and also The Terminator. Now, Dave got in touch with me and said he would like to send me something. He said, have you got this? Are you going to get this? And I was like, yeah, I was going to get it the other day. It wasn't actually there when I went to HMV. But he says, I've got two, short story. If you want one, one's yours. And I was like, I can't believe this, Dave. It's just absolutely amazing. You're so incredibly generous, as you know. You've seen many unboxings that Dave has sent to me. I just want to thank him once again for even just thinking of me. Now, the only unboxing I've seen from this is from my good friend Keith from Euphoria Pictures, linked to his channel down below. And I saw it on his channel and I thought, this is just amazing. It's a hefty beast. No, I'm thinking, wow, this feels a little bit. I've seen plenty of people getting these, but I've never actually seen one of these myself to open. Now, it's great that they do send these things out like this. I think this is one of the best ways to package your stuff, especially if you want to keep it in the best condition. And this actually hasn't even been opened yet. Can you believe it? Look at this. This is just a thing of beauty. Yeah. You can't thank Dave enough. We've got Steelbook in here as well. Steelbook. Unbelievable. So once again, Dave and Jill, I can't thank you enough for doing this for me. This is amazing. And yeah, just can't wait to see this. It's been a while, so it's going to be a great watch. To be honest, I could watch this 100 times a year. It's so funny. So back in a minute. Once again, thanks so much. As I said at the start of this video, I couldn't wait to check this film out. It's been a few years since I saw it. I was going to watch it recently because me and the Debs watched my favourite comedy of all time, Young Frankenstein, which was released in 1974, the same year as Blazing Saddles, and the both were directed by Mel Brooks. Can you believe it? It's incredible that he put these two movies out in the same year. I still can't believe it. So I'm pretty sure that most people have seen this amazing comedy back in the day on the TV. The best thing about this 4K is that some things in this movie are frowned upon. More about that in a minute. So this film could have been hacked to pieces, but thankfully it's all been left intact. So the storyline is pretty basic. They're putting a train track down and it runs through quicksand. So what they've got to do is they've got to divert it, and they will divert it through a town called Rockridge. So at Rockridge, they want to get rid of the people in there. So they do this, they put all these things in places to try and get rid of them. So they can run this train track through the town. That's the basic premise. So as I said, this film is one of my favourite comedies of all time. I remember seeing this on the TV with my dad when I first watched it. And of course, the scene where they're around the campfire with the beans, that's the one that stood out to me, as it probably everybody thought about it when they saw it for the first time. It was just like something you'd never seen. Now, the best thing about this film and Young Frankenstein, they look exactly like Westerns. Young Frankenstein looks exactly like the Universal Horror Frankenstein films. If you take, I think they use a lot of the sets and a lot of the gadgets from the original Frankenstein movies for that. So they couldn't have got the sets looking better. And the sets and the look of it looks absolutely sensational in Blazing Saddles as well. Now, when they do that, I think it makes these movies come to life a little bit more when they're going to do like a spoof. I think they just work that much better. The cast is absolutely spectacular. Now, one of the things in this one and Young Frankenstein, one of my favourite actresses of all time, Madeline Kahn, is in both of them. She did another Mel Brooks film, High Anxiety, which is, again is absolutely brilliant. That's kind of a little bit hard to get at the moment. I would love that to come out in 4K. That was made in 1977. This is the one that was the one he made after Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. High Anxiety is a spoof of Hitchcock films, and it's absolutely brilliant as well. These three films, they're so funny. So getting back to the dialogue, I'll quickly touch on that. There's a lot of controversial things in here, and by that I mean some people find them controversial. This film does tackle racist elements, but if you think about it, all the people who are racist get to look like the absolute idiots that they are. And that's the best thing about it. When certain people talk about certain words, they think it's just to just hear it and just think, oh, I'm going to dismiss it as racist. It's not. It's because they're using them words to portray the people who are saying them words as the biggest buffoons going, because everybody knows that like people are so ignorant when they use terms like that. In my opinion, I don't consider this movie to be racist in any way, shape, or form. The picture quality on here is the thing I was really interested in. I've got to say, it looks absolutely fantastic. I think Warner Brothers have done a spectacular job with this. and it's just pristine, crystal clear. I did notice in the Blu-ray, the previous Blu-ray, there was a few that there was some sort of grain in the sky, not much, but you could see some grain on the opening credits and in the blue sky. In this, it's absolutely gone. There's been no, in my eyes, there's been no AI or anything used on it. I think this is a 100% honest transfer, and it looks spectacular. And also, it sounds spectacular. There's a Dolby Atmos track on here, and I knew the songs in here are absolutely brilliant. They're so funny and they're so memorable, and I find myself singing them all the time, especially the theme tune. I'm so invested with the soundtrack with this, so when you hear the whip craps coming, I'm doing exactly the same thing in time to the music. There was some talk about Richard Pryor playing the role of Sheriff Barton here, and he would have been incredible because he's just one of the funniest people, if not the funniest man that's ever lived. But I've got to say that Cleveland Little is just kind of just amazing in this role. I think they needed someone a bit of a straight man, although he does some funny stuff. But it's the main star for me for the comedy is Gene Wilder as the Waco Kid. His like quick draw, the stuff when he does when he's quick drawing, it's just absolutely phenomenal. I just got to rewind them a couple of times to watch them. And also as well, like I say, Madeline Kahn is fantastic in this. And also as well in this phenomenal cast is Harvey Korman, who plays Headley. It's Headley, not Hedy Lamarr, and he is just fantastic. I just every time they are on the screen, I just think it's perfection. Now they're on the screen that much that this movie plays across. It's just so good from start to finish. It's one of those films when you put it on, you think I can't wait to watch it again. I'm so glad this came out in 4K. I know I had to hold off for a little bit when it was coming out, and I thought I don't want to go to the Blu-ray. How many people have got the eyes on a Blu-ray to watch, and then they know the 4K is coming out and want to just hold off. The songs in here are incredible, but the Dolby Atmos just brings them to life that little bit more. They just seem to be ultra crystal clear. So I kind of felt this release at all. Got a beautiful steelbook in here. It's got those amazing cards and all those little posters and stuff with it. It's just brilliant. And I want to thank Dave and Jill once again for thinking of me and sending this to me because it's absolutely incredible. It will live on my shelves next to my other Warner Brothers stuff. And once again, I'm blown away by this. Also, quickly, the previous Blu-ray does have an extra thing on here. Intimate portrait, Madeline Kahn excerpt. I think it's only about 4 minutes long, but it's great to see people talking about Madeline Kahn. Wish it was a bit longer. So that's not on that release there. And next up is a 4K of The Terminator. This is an absolutely amazing film. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave in the description down below, I'm going to leave a link to a live stream that was done on 101 Bronson's channel. Now, Jeff had hosted this one with JT at the movies, Carlos, Eastwood Movies for Life, and also Dan's Movie Cave, although Dan couldn't make that episode because he was feeling a bit ill. Get well soon, Dave. So I'll leave a link down to all that stuff down below. Now, they've done a Terminator live stream. It was absolutely brilliant. One of the best live streams I've seen on the Terminator. So I urge you to get across to that. I had a blast with it and highly recommended. So they were talking about this one, and I've heard nothing but good things about this. Now I went the other day to get it from HMV, but it actually wasn't there, so I went another time and I got it. And this has just got the 4K disc in it, hasn't got anything else in it. And what didn't really matter. The strange thing about this was I went on the shelves to say I'll just go and get the old one to do a comparison with, but I haven't got it at all. And I thought, where on earth is my Terminator? Because I knew I had it on VHS. Well, obviously that'll be long gone. So I went through to my son's room and I thought he'll have it, but he hasn't got it. So I don't know whether or not I just only had it on VHS. Now I did have a VHS player for a long time, and I think me and my son might have watched it on VHS before I got rid of it. I think, I'm not too sure. I know me and my son watched this together. Then we had a blast with it, and it's one of my son's favourite movies. He actually loves this franchise, to a certain extent. And so, but it shows you how long I haven't seen this film for. Now, I knew there was a time when I wanted to go back and see it because I want to go and see Terminator 2, which I got on Blu-ray a long time ago, an updated one. Now, I've got the Skynet one. Now, Matthew's got that next door. And I've got the one that is it's like an updated Blu-ray. I think there's a Blu-ray from the 4K, which I haven't got the 4K, for nothing but bad things about the Terminator 2 4K. Now, bringing back to this one, can that be that this one was going to be touched by, and do all this AI nonsense on it, and it was going to just look wrong? But I can definitely say that this looks absolutely phenomenal. It's like nothing I've seen before. Now, bearing in mind, I went to the cinema to see this in 1984. Now, the other day, I actually messaged Carlos and just said, look, this cinema's still there, although it's just fallen into disrepair and it's like locked up now. But me and my friend, Wolfie Warboy, We went to see it one night and we had such a blast because in them days, the only way you found out about these low budget films that come on the cinema was to just actually walk past the cinema and say, oh, look at that. Let's go and see that. Basically, that's what we did. And we had such a blast with it because we were not expecting this at all. Now, when I watched this one, and I was so glad I watched it after all this time, I will be watching The Terminator 2 very soon on the Blu-ray, not the 4K. And I just had such a blast with it. I could remember loads. Now, sometimes when you haven't watched a film for a long time, you can't remember anything about it. Now, this one, I remembered everything about it because I've watched it hundreds of times, it seems like, back in the day. Even Arnold wasn't really a big star at that point. He was kind of up and coming, but he wasn't like, I would say, like he is now, obviously. But this is just a perfect film, and I can't fault this at all. And I couldn't wait to see this and see what the 4K was like. And like I say, the 4K on here looks absolutely incredible. One of the best 4Ks I've seen. Now, there's been some excellent 4Ks come out this year, surprisingly enough. And obviously, this new talk is about AI and how AI can like mutilate a transfer. And I think AI used rightly could probably help an old transfer that you can't do anything with, a bit like Jaws 3, to get it looking the best you can. But you've got to kind of take it on the chin that you're going to get a few little weird things happening in it. Thankfully, this hasn't been done with this. Now, I don't know how much of an input the Camerons had with this one. I would like to think that he would just leave it to somebody else and just say, look, do your best on it. And he would have a look at it afterwards, because really, if this has been tinkered with too much and had maybe effects changed and stuff like that, even though the effects do look ropey in places, I think they look better for it because they're all practical. And when you were watching it, you thought, even though you could tell it was like a false head, you thought, how on earth are they doing this? Because the false heads like moving and stuff like that. It was absolutely incredible when I look back on it. And I had such a blast with it this time. It's, for me, where do I put it? I might do a ranking when I watch all the other ones because I do like Dark Fate. I do think that's quite good. This time around, I've watched the Terminator. I'm going to watch Terminator 2. Then I'm going straight to Dark Fate, which follows on from Terminator 2 in a fashion. So I may do it that way around and then watch them because I do want to see Dark Fate, but there's a few in the middle that I don't really want to kind of visit again, and I haven't got anyway. So there's that. Anyway, so can't recommend this enough. The Dolby Atmos on here is absolutely amazing as well. The picture quality is stunning. It's crystal clear. I can't see any grain at all. If it is, it's just very light. I don't think it's been smoothed out. I don't think I see any DNR at all, and it's an honest transfer again, exactly like Blazing Saddles. Now, when you get movies from this age, I mean, this is 84, Blazing Saddles was 74. You do want to see them doing, you don't want to see any tinkering with it. Why would you? Unless they had to, because the elements were that awful. But it shows you with Blazing Saddles and this one, they must have found the best elements they could. Probably the original camera negatives. So they went back to that and they've done a fantastic job. Now, I think if you can get the original negatives, you should not use AI in any way, shape, or form. Unfortunately, if you've got one where you've got problems with it, you might need to employ AI in certain aspects. So for me, these are two of the best 4Ks I've seen all year. So thanks for watching. You take care, especially you, Dave and Jill, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.